Ijeoma Ijego would often say with a spiteful tone, "You think you are so special with your pretty face and gentle ways. But mark my words, one day I will be the queen of this land, and you'll be nothing but a servant at my feet." Once upon a time, in a small village nestled among rolling hills and swaying trees, there lived two sisters named Ijeoma and Ijego. Ijeoma, the elder sister, had eyes that sparkled like the stars in the night sky, while Ijego possessed beauty that danced like sunlight on the river. Their little hut, with its thatched roof and wooden walls, was where they called home. Their mother, a wise and elderly woman, filled the air with warmth and love. But beneath the tranquility of their home, a storm brewed in the heart of Ijego. Ijego, though adorned with beauty, harbored bitterness and jealousy towards her sister, Ijeoma. She felt as though their mother showered more love upon Ijeoma, leaving her feeling neglected and unseen. In her heart, a shadow of envy cast its dark veil, clouding her thoughts and actions. Ijeoma Ijego would often say with a spiteful tone, "You think you are so special with your pretty face and gentle ways. But mark my words, one day I will be the queen of this land, and you'll be nothing but a servant at my feet." Ijeoma, with a heart as pure as the morning dew, tried to soothe the bitterness that brewed within her sister. She would offer kind words and gentle smiles, hoping to mend the broken pieces of their relationship. Yet, each attempt was met with scorn and disdain from Ijego. "You will never be better than me," Ijego will sneer, her words sharp as thorns. "People only talk good about you because they pity you. You will always be in my shadow." Despite the hurtful words that pierced her heart like arrows, Ijeoma refused to let the darkness consume her. She continued to rise with the dawn, embracing each new day with hope and resilience. As the days turned into weeks and the weeks into months, the rift between the sisters deepened. Their mother, with eyes filled with sorrow, watched as the bond that once held her daughters together began to fray. But amidst the turmoil that engulfed their home, Ijeoma held onto a flicker of hope. She believed that love, like a seed planted in fertile soil, had the power to bloom even in the darkest of times. As the sun rose over the village, painting the sky with hues of gold and pink, Ijeoma gathered her courage and approached her sister, Ijego. With a gentle voice, she called out to her, her heart heavy with the weight of unanswered questions. "Ijego," Ijeoma began, her voice trembling like the leaves in the wind. "What have I done to you to make you hate me so much? Why do you speak such hurtful words to me?" Ijego's eyes blazed with fury as she turned to face her sister. "You dare call me sister?" she spat, her words laced with venom. "Let me tell you, you are not my sister and will never be. You are nothing but a shadow in the light of my greatness." Tears swelled in Ijeoma's eyes, her heart aching with the pain of rejection. Yet, amidst the storm of emotions that raged within her, she found the strength to speak from the depths of her soul. "No matter what you say, I will always love you as my sister," Ijeoma declared, her voice unwavering in its resolve. "I will always be here for you, even if you choose to push me away." With those words hanging in the air like a fragile thread, Ijego turned on her heel and stormed away, leaving Ijeoma standing alone, her heart heavy with sorrow. In the days that followed, the rift between the sisters grew wider like a chasm carved by the hands of fate. Their mother, unaware of the turmoil that brewed beneath the surface, continued to tend to her garden with gentle hands and a kind heart. Ijeoma, burdened by the weight of her sister's hatred, chose to bear her pain in silence. She did not want to burden their mother with their troubles, for she knew that the old woman carried the weight of the world upon her weary shoulders. Months passed, and life in the village continued as normal. But one fateful morning, the village town crier's voice echoed through the streets, carrying with it news that would change the course of destiny. "Attention, young maidens of the land," the town crier proclaimed, his voice ringing clear and true. "The king seeks a wife to stand by his side and rule the kingdom. All worthy and beautiful daughters of the land are invited to present themselves before the king, for he shall choose one to become his queen." The news spread like wildfire, igniting a spike of excitement and anticipation in the hearts of the villagers. For the king, a young ruler who had recently ascended the throne, sought a queen to share in his reign and bring joy to the kingdom. In the midst of the excitement, Ijeoma's heart fluttered with a mixture of hope and apprehension. She had heard tales of the king's kindness and wisdom, and the prospect of becoming queen filled her with both wonder and uncertainty. But amidst the whispers of possibility that danced through the village, Ijego's heart remained shrouded in darkness. Envy burned within her like a smoldering ember, casting a shadow over her thoughts and desires. As the days passed and the day of the king's selection drew near, the sisters found themselves on diverging paths, each grappling with their own hopes and fears. One evening, as the shadows danced beneath the moon's gentle gaze, their mother called Ijeoma and Ijego to her side. With a voice filled with warmth and love, she spoke of the upcoming events, where the king would choose a queen from among the village maidens. "It would be a great honor for our family if one of you were chosen," their mother said, her eyes shining with pride. "I want both of you to participate in the contest. Together you'll be representing our family with grace and dignity." Ijeoma, ever the peacemaker, suggested that Ijego go alone to the palace. "It's too far, and we can't leave you alone at home, Mama," she reasoned, her heart filled with concern for their mother's well-being. But their mother's resolve remained steadfast. "No, my dear daughters," she insisted, her voice firm yet gentle. "You both must go and seize this opportunity. Together, you are stronger than you realize." And so, with their mother's blessings, Ijeoma and Ijego prepared for the journey ahead. The night before the contest, excitement and anticipation hung in the air like a delicate veil as they made final preparations for the day that would change their lives forever. But as the village slept beneath the blanket of stars, Ijego's heart burned with a desire fueled by envy and ambition. The prospect of becoming queen consumed her thoughts like a raging fire, driving her to seek her destiny in the halls of the palace. Under the cloak of darkness, Ijego slipped away from their home, her footsteps silent against the earth beneath her feet. The moon, a silent witness to her journey, cast its silver light upon her path as she made her way towards the palace gates. As she walked, her mind filled with vision of power, Ijego encountered a beggar by the roadside, his eyes weary and filled with longing. "Please, my dear, can you help me with some food? I am very hungry." But Ijego, her heart hardened by the attraction of royalty, turned a deaf ear to his pleas. "Once I become queen, I will deal with people like you," she spat, her words sharp as shards of glass. Undeterred by the encounter, Ijego pressed on, her steps quickening with each passing moment. But fate, like a silent sentinel, had other plans in store. Further along the road, she encountered an old woman, her form bent with age and weariness. She begged for a sip of water to quench her thirst, her voice soft and frail against the backdrop of the night. But Ijego, blinded by her own ambition, saw only an obstacle in her path. "I have no time for the likes of you," she scoffed. Her words dripped with disdain. "Once I ascend the throne, I will make sure people like you are punished." With those words hanging in the air, like a bitter echo, Ijego continued on her journey, her heart filled with a sense of righteousness, born of her own delusions. Little did she know, the choices she made in the darkness of the night would shape the destiny that awaited her in the light of the day. And so, the night unfolded like a tapestry woven with threads of hope and despair, as Ijego's path collided with the forces of fate that lingered just beyond the horizon. As the first rays of the morning sun kissed the sky, Ijeoma awoke to find her sister Ijego nowhere to be seen. A sense of unease settled in her heart as she realized that her sister had left in the night, driven by her own desires and ambitions. With a heavy sigh, Ijeoma brushed aside her worries and focused on the task at hand. She knew that their mother would be safe at home, surrounded by the warmth of their humble abode. With a silent prayer for her mother's well-being, Ijeoma hurriedly prepared herself for the journey ahead. As she stepped out into the crisp morning air, the village buzzed with excitement and anticipation. Maidens from far and wide gathered, their faces adorned with hope and determination. Among them, Ijeoma stood tall and resolute, her heart beating with a quiet strength born of love and compassion. But as she made her way through the bustling streets, her path crossed with that of a hungry beggar, his eyes filled with longing and despair. Without hesitation, Ijeoma offered him her food. "Here, take this," she said, her voice soft and gentle. "No one should go hungry when there is food to spare." A smile of gratitude graced the beggar's lips as he accepted her gift, his eyes sparkling with newfound hope. With a nod of thanks, he disappeared into the crowd, leaving Ijeoma to continue on her journey with a heart filled with warmth and compassion. As she ventured further along the forest path, the rustling leaves whispered secrets of times long past, and there, amidst the tranquil beauty of nature, Ijeoma encountered an old woman, her form bent with age and wisdom. The old woman's voice, soft as a breeze that danced through the trees, reached out to Ijeoma with a simple request. "Child, may I trouble you for a sip of water to quench my thirst?" she asked, her eyes shining with quiet grace. Without hesitation, Ijeoma offered the water she carried, her hand overflowing with empathy and kindness. "I wish I could do more to help," she said, her voice filled with sincerity. The old woman's smile was like sunlight breaking through the clouds, illuminating the forest with its warmth and radiance. "Your kindness is a gift unto itself," she replied, her words echoing in the stillness of the woods. And so, with a heart lightened by the simple act of compassion, Ijeoma bid the old woman farewell and continued on her journey. Little did she know the seeds of kindness she sowed would blossom into a tapestry of miracles and would shape the destiny of the kingdom and all who dwelled within its borders. As Ijeoma walked along the forest path, her thoughts were filled with a quiet determination to make her mother proud. She knew that even if the crown did not rest upon her head, its weight would bring happiness to someone else. With each step, she carried the hopes and dreams of her family, her heart beating in time with the rhythm of the land. Meanwhile, in the grand halls of the palace, Ijego and the other maidens stood before the king, their eyes filled with anticipation as they awaited the beginning of the selection process. The air hummed with excitement, the echoes of whispered conversations filling the space like a symphony of anticipation. With a regal grace befitting his station, the king welcomed the maidens to his palace, his voice commanding attention as he addressed the gathered crowd. Questions filled the air like fluttering butterflies, each maiden eager to know when the selection would begin and who would be chosen to stand by the king's side. But to their astonishment, the king's words carried a revelation that sent shockwaves through the assembled maidens. The test had been carried out, he announced, his voice steady and unwavering, and only one among you had passed. A collective gasp rippled through the crowd as the realization dawned upon them. Their fate had already been decided, their characters tested by forces unseen. In that moment, the truth hung heavy in the air like a veil of uncertainty. The king's gaze settled upon Ijeoma, his eyes shining with a knowing light. It was Ijeoma who showed kindness to a hungry beggar and offered water to an old woman, he declared, his voice ringing with conviction. Her heart is pure, and her spirit unwavering in its compassion. And so, with a gesture as graceful as the flutter of a butterfly's wing, the king bestowed upon Ijeoma the greatest honor of all. Ijeoma, he proclaimed, his voice resounding with the weight of destiny, you shall be my queen, and all of you shall remain my servants. A hush fell over the palace halls as the words echoed through the air, their significance reverberating like the tolling of a bell. In the moment, the threads of fate intertwined, weaving a tapestry of destiny that bound them all together in the dance of life. And so, it was that Ijeoma, with humility and grace, ascended the throne beside the king, her heart filled with gratitude for the blessings bestowed upon her. Beside her stood Ijego, her sister and servants, their roles reversed in the grand design of fate. As the sun set upon the horizon, casting its golden light upon the world below, a new chapter began in the tale of two sisters bound by blood and destiny. And in the quiet of the evening, amidst the whispers of the wind and the rustle of the leaves, the kingdom found solace in the gentle embrace of a queen whose heart shone bright with love and compassion. As Queen Ijeoma settled in her role beside the king, she carried with her the lessons learned along the winding path of her journey. In the quiet moments of reflection, she pondered the true meaning of life and the power of kindness to shape the world around her. She realized that true greatness lay not in the glittering jewels of a crown, but in the simple acts of compassion that filled each day with meaning and purpose. For it was in the giving of oneself that the greatest treasures of the heart were found, shining bright like stars in the night sky. As the days turned into weeks and the weeks into months, Queen Ijeoma ruled with wisdom and grace, her heart open to the needs of her people and their spirits attuned to the rhythms of the land. Through her example, she inspired others to embrace the values of kindness and empathy, weaving a tapestry of love that bound the kingdom together as one. And in the shadow of the palace walls, Ijego, now serving her sister with humility and devotion, learned the true measure of greatness. Through her sister's example, she discovered the beauty that lay within the depths of her own heart, a beauty born of compassion and understanding. She then decided to ask her sister for forgiveness for all the evil things she had done to her. Together, the sisters forged a bond that transcended the trials of the past, their love shining bright like a beacon in the darkness. And as they walked hand in hand along the path of life, they carried with them the lessons learned and the wisdom gained, their hearts forever intertwined in the tapestry of destiny. And so, as the final chapter of their tale drew to a close, the kingdom flourished beneath the gentle rule of Queen Ijeoma and her sister by her side. And in the quiet moments of reflection,
Amidst the laughter of children and the songs of the birds, they knew that the greatest gift of all was the love that bound them together forever and always. The most important lesson in this story of Ijeoma and Ijego is that amidst the trials of envy, resentment and discord, embracing kindness, compassion and forgiveness not only heals wounds of the heart and foster reconciliation, but also foster a deeper understanding of the transformative power of love, ultimately guiding individuals towards paths of redemption, unity, and enduring fulfillment in the face of adversity. Thank you so much for watching. Please kindly like, share, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more interesting videos.